What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Command and Console. My name is Jason. Today I've got some recommendations for you. 6 games on 6 consoles from 6 genres. Let's get to the first pick. So the first genre is going to be RPG, and it is going to be for the PlayStation 3. So my pick for RPG on the PS3 is going to be Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch. This is a crazy good combination of, you could say, Final Fantasy and Pokemon, of all things. It's a combination that shouldn't really work in grand scheme of things, but when you put these together and you have amazing art direction from the folks over at Studio Ghibli, you get an immersive storyline and an engaging narrative and just a weird combat system that strangely works, where you collect all these little monsters that you can send out to fight battles for you. You can join the battle in yourself as well, but you want to, reserve your own self, so you send out these little creatures that you collect in the game to fight battles for you. It's very much Final Fantasy crossed with Pokemon in the best kind of ways. It looks beautiful as well. The PS3 just packs a punch visually. It literally looks like a Studio Ghibli animation brought to life. Pretty much, it's an interactive Studio Ghibli film in all essence. The story is really kind of heartwarming as well. The combat is so addictive and so much fun. And you're just going to love going around the overworld and engaging in these fights, going into these caves, these dungeons to search for things. It's so much fun, and I highly recommend it. That's a big recommendation from me. That's the RPG category on PS3. That's Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch. My next category is first person shooter, and the console of choice is the GameCube. So my recommendation for a GameCube first person shooter is going to be the super underrated Judge Dredd: Dredd versus Death. This game is surprisingly well made, surprisingly good, and really faithful to the source material. Obviously in this game you play as Judge Dredd himself, and you get to go around Mega City and really do the judge life. Really, you get to frisk people, arrest people for crimes. You get to determine what they will receive as punishment, and it's really great. The shooting is awesome as well. The actual combat is really satisfying, and just like Judge Dredd himself, your main firearm has multiple ammo capacities, so you can just use different ammo for different circumstances and different enemies, and really have fun time with different kind of weapons in this game. I really like this one. It's really well made, super underrated as well, but it's by a quality developer, which is Rebellion. So I'm not surprised it's quality. Rebellion have made some really good games in the past. It's really good. I recommend that one. That's Judge Dredd: Dredd versus Death. The next category is action game, and my console of choice is the PlayStation 2. Now, if you saw my PlayStation 2 collection video, as I'm filming this, should have already come out, I spoke about this game being an amazing sequel to a fairly forgotten Sega franchise. I'm talking about Headhunter Redemption. I love this game. It's so underappreciated. It's better than the first game in my opinion. But this game, you take a role, there's pretty much 2 roles, 2 police officers in this futuristic kind of cyberpunk world, and you basically go around solving crimes and basically just kicking ass as these law enforcers in this future timeline. Very cool. It's got lots of Metal Gear influences in there in my opinion, and I love the combat. It looks great for the time as well. Great visuals in this, and yeah, it's just a blast to play. Highly recommend this if you want a Metal Gear-esque action game. And I'm emphasising action. The Metal Gear stuff is more about how it kind of has like influences, like how the presentation, it kind of looks Metal Gear-y. It's not a stealth game in any manner, but if you want that kind of style, but in an action adventure game in a cyberpunk world, Headhunter Redemption is awesome. So that is Headhunter Redemption. My next genre pick is going to be racing game, and my console of choice for this recommendation is going to be the Nintendo Wii, and my pick for this category is going to be Need for Speed Nitro. This is one of those rare games where it literally came out just for the Wii. It had a little port for the DS, but it's so different, there's no point really talking about it. But the Wii version is very, very simple. Straight up, super fast racing that doesn't really overcomplicate anything. It's straight up arcade, you know, it's one of those really kind of simple arcade racing titles you get in the arcades on the Wii, and it plays wonderfully. It's not chained down by the motion controls. You have multiple different control options with this game, which is always nice to see. GameCube controller, classic Wii controller, or of course just the Wiimote and nunchuck as well. But this game is just very much classic arcade racing, stripped back. Races are only like 2 minutes long. It's literally pick up and play, have your 5 minutes of fun and put it down. It's not one of those games where you've got to invest loads of hours into it. It's one of those games where you can pick it up, play a fast-paced race and put it down. It's not there to make you think about other things in a racing game, like other Need for Speed games, for example. I'm not saying anything bad about those games, but this game is literally Need for Speed as stripped back as possible, but keeping that arcade roots, that arcade fast-paced racing experience in there that I just love. That's Need for Speed Nitro. The next category is hack and slash. My console of choice for this category is going to be Xbox 360. My pick is going to be Too Human. This game was, in my opinion, unfairly slated when it came out. Unfairly so. It is one of the most criminally underrated titles for the 360 that got into a lot of legal trouble when it came out. You know, recalls happened, you know, legal stuff to destroy the game happened. So whatever is out there physically is out there. So it's one of those games where I don't know whether it's sold well. I don't know what it's like in terms of sales numbers, but this game is one of the cheapest games you can pick up for the 360. It's like 50p to £1, mostly in the pound range. It's super affordable, super recommended from me. What you get from this game, if you're going to pay £1 for it, is a really kind of interesting cyberpunk Norse mythology hacking slash craziness that I can't put into words how mad it is. It kind of follows that same formula as God of War, but it has something else to it that kind of separates it from the classic God of War games and makes it its own. The controls can be clunky, and that was one of the big complaints when it first came out. The controls are really bad because you use the right analog stick to use your melee attacks, and that could feel a bit clunky at first, but once you get the hang of it, guys, and you start kicking the hell out of these robots, it's awesome. I do love this game a lot. I think it's really underrated, and for a recommendation from me for a hack and slash is definitely worthy in this video. That is Too Human. So the sixth game in this video, the final category, is going to be platformer. My console of choice, the Sega Master System, and the game I'm going to pick is Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse. I would argue that this game is way better than its Mega Drive counterpart. Very different games in style. This one is more kind of classic platformer where it doesn't really, there's not much to it, but it can be very challenging. I just think it looks great for a Master System title, and the music is fantastic. I just have loads of nostalgia for this one. For a platformer, it's one of the best out there in my opinion. I love it. It's so adorable, so colourful. The music's great, like I said. The pixel art is beautiful. It looks great. And I feel like it's definitely a game that people should check out if you have a Master System, because I feel like it's one of the best games on the system for me. That's Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse, the Master System version. So that is it, guys. That is 6 game recommendations on 6 consoles from 6 different genres. Let me know any of your thoughts in the comments down below for any of these games, and what would you recommend? 6 games from 6 consoles from 6 different genres. Sailor, 8,000 times fast. You're dead. Recommend me what you think of these categories in the comments down below. As always, guys, let's continue to build a games collection.